No, just bring it back. People are on.
Or just say what you were talking about what do you think about the rule change?
Yeah, replay. We're back. Oh, replay.
Can you guys hear us now?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Still fat. So rule changes, okay? So the Ozzy was talking about, if you just joined us, the rule changes on umpires. So number one, historically, umpires, they've been playing around with this technology of having automatic balls and strikes since the beginning of since technology's been around. It's always been there. It's never been perfected. Most people don't know this, but I work in technology on my other job, okay? In my other career, basically. And no technology is 100%, okay? So that ball and strike.
As we just experienced.
As we just experienced. So that ball and strike, okay, that you think it's going to be an automatic thing. Number one, technology-wise, it might fail. Number two, the opinion of the batter or the pitcher is going to change. So if you got a minor league kid trying to hit a pitch, and then in the minor leagues it worked for him hitting the automatic strike zone, but then an umpire in the big league says, you know what, that's not a strike. So if umpires were so bad that you're like, oh my God, like it is in our men's league, for big leagues, you say, oh my God. But umpires are usually 95% of the time right, and they've already given us the replay on the base paths.
You know what's funny? They slap on the face at the guys want to make careers out of the umpire.
Yeah.
Umpires, the good or bad, whatever you think, that's the hardest career in baseball. Very hard. Now they call people up like 2 weeks in the minor league. They call them up in the big league because the big league guy need a vacation. Okay, whatever, and come back. But to me, I don't know what baseball want to go to get. Is that what it makes sense? I will say, you know what? That makes sense.
They're trying to say that we want to get every call right.
Okay, how?
That's discrimination.
The funny thing about it, you want to see a good baseball, quit signing kids when they cannot play, quit paying people $200 million to strike out 200,000 times, quit, go there to the plate, make sure you hit 10 home runs with 500 at bats. Just so many things you got to involve with the human being.
I just listen. I'm all for evolution, and it's a great concept, but I don't know why we have to take something good and try to change it. Everyone knows, and everyone that loves baseball loves the game the way it is.
But I'll tell you what, people
last year we had to deal with the three batter rule, and then it takes away from the manager's strategy. This year in the minor leagues, which is professional baseball, which is a big deal because that means that if it works or they like it, that means that they will implement it to the big leagues. Now, me personally, I feel like umpires are part of the game.
They are
personalities, and I love the fact that every umpire is different. Say, this is my zone. It is what it is. It takes away from, I don't know why, not only in baseball, but in society, they want to take away like the
real baseball thing,
the human element of life. Yeah. And I love technology, but what is wrong with like the human?
It's a perfect imperfect game, because in life when you mess up, you usually end up in jail, lose your job, whatever. In baseball, when you fail, you get to strike out and you get to come up again and you get to redeem yourself. And the game has been around. You know, we haven't had a story of an umpire. Actually, the stories of umpires messing up has actually become bigger stories. This is the part that's interesting though. So with umpires, okay, they think that the game's going to get faster or better. The other rule that they change is the shift. Okay, so for Wikipedia,
let me interrupt you 1 second. They won't make the game faster and better. Please, I work on TV now. Get better pitching.
They're watching us even in Australia.
Yeah, you see better pitching. The game. I played for Atlanta Braves for 2 years. Every game, 2 an hour, 2 hours.
But here's the thing: if you're going to improve, okay, if you're saying baseball games are going to go from 4 hours to an hour and 10 minutes,
never.
Hold on, I would say, oh my God, consider it. But when you're taking off 5 minutes from a game,
listen, that Ozzy. I'm just saying, why? Because I was in the meetings being managed, and they make it a big deal. I remember umpires walk into the clubhouse, talk about the deal, and say, well, guys, we have a very, very great thing last year. We create less time. We can do this, we can do that. And we add a minute and a half left of the game. Minute and a half. Not 3 hours.
I'll tell you.
For some people out there,
by the way,
minute and a half is a long time.
I'll tell you who complains about the games being too long. The people sitting in the press box.
Just said.
Because the owners leave, family members leave. Listen, only the people in the press box.
People that watch the game know how long baseball takes. They go to the game for the experience. You go to the game knowing that it's going to take 3 or 4 hours. And most of the time, it's 3 or 4 hours of drinking and having a good time. I'm a purist. I don't like rules changing at all. They're making the bases bigger.
Well, by the way, so I want to talk about the shift first because the base is where I'm going to go completely crazy. So the shift, okay? Wikipedia, okay? Stop saying that the first shift happened in 2013 with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Nope.
Okay? Google Ted Williams, okay? They used to have a shift. They've written books about it. The shift has always been around, meaning are some of them extreme? Here's the difference, geniuses. They realized and said, the computer told them, hey, this happens more than your eyes telling you, so shift. And these hitters, okay, the hitters are behind. They haven't adapted to it.
And listen, I'm a high school coach.
Did you shift?
I'm a high school coach.
A lot.
And if you play baseball, you should always be shifting. Where your catcher's setting up, where this guy hits the ball all the time. That's been going on for baseball forever.
So if you play big league, you play. Are you moving with every type of different happens?
You remember? Hey, you remember?
Good players move all the time.
You remember when you guys asked me like, what the hell you go to the mound to talk to Tom Seaver before the game start? I asked him how your fastball is, good or bad. I know Tom Seaver is going to throw that pitch right there. Then I'm going to know where I'm going to move. Okay, this guy's fastball is weak. I'm going to move. They're going to pull against them. But I remember Evans going to hit. I crossed to second base.
You play
over without people telling me. Gene Leland, Eric Brinkman, Tony Russa told me this guy's a pull hitter. That's the 2 things we should go. Straight
up,
pull, and pull. They said can run slow. That's our sign.
Yeah, meaning
that was the best shirt.
He could run, take a couple steps in.
So go, okay, who's coming up? Bo Jackson. Hey, straight up, he can run. That means hurry up. Okay. Now, even the guys in the big league right now coaching, infield coach, I better say what I think.
No, they don't know what they're doing. But here's the part when we're talking about shifting, okay? If you're playing every one pool.
We're saying, hey, someone's saying that Lou Bordeaux, the Cleveland player manager and later Cubs broadcaster, did that for Ted Williams.
Yeah, Ted Williams, because again, and then guess
We
what happened? Again, that's what happened. What Ted did.
I gotta go this way.
No, they used to pitch him inside, and then the pitcher said, "I'm going to go outside because I don't want him to go deep on the shift." Ted Williams hit the wall.
Okay,
so if you're pitching somebody, you're calling the signs, and you're pitching someone again. When you hit a ball 700,000 feet, that means the pitcher misses.
Hey guys, I have a coach, Gene Leland, tremendous baseball. Joe Brinkman, Joe Nancy. How about this? Move that way. Move that. Now we have coaches in the big league.
By the way, you were smart.
Yeah, I know, but we got coaches in the big league. Every stupid hitters come to the plate. They look around. Then I see outfielders.
Yes.
Outfielders reading. I see infielders reading.
Well, so
guys, first of all, it's hard to do when the guy throws 98, 99. You don't know what is going. Period. You do that when you face the Mark Burley guys.
Maybe guys aren't as smart now.
No, wait a minute. I see outfielders.
Smart.
Outfielders. Gold Glovers. I never see Andrew Jones, the best outfield I ever seen in my life, go like this. Devon White, Willie Wilson. No.
This is what they're doing. I don't understand why. What those things are probably saying is, hey, when he has 2 strikes, go 1 step in, 2 steps back. Things that have been happening in baseball since forever, as we have Rob Novotnoy say the Lou Bordeaux story. My point is this, is that the shifts have obviously been going on forever. The shifts are part of the game. Strategy is part of the game.
Yes.
That has a lot to do with winning.
So Joey Gallo, the issue is the players know, okay, the players have always adapted. They're like, how come people stole bases in the 70s and 80s? It's because they were paying a lot of money.
That's what guys got paid.
Players were paid also for average, and players also play for playing amount of games. Right now, teams don't care how many games you play. They don't care if you strike out 200 times.
Home runs and doubles.
It's about home runs and doubles. They could care less about anything else. They stopped paying those, and there's the funny part. They pay for those, yet all their teams that win are not built like that. Because, hey, by the way, Texas Rangers, they had that philosophy, last place. Anaheim, we don't believe in pitching, last place. So you got to find the balance. You think Tampa's a home run hitting team? Ask Minnesota how hitting home runs works out for them in the playoffs. So when you're building those things, you're looking at them and you're saying the shift. That takes away more strategy. So you're not only saying that players are now, they're just saying they're dumber.
No, and not only they're saying that, they're saying that they're going to try to say you have to have 2 guys on each side of the bag. So if you want to put a shortstop over second, that they might take that away from you. But you've seen time and time again, a Jim Thome, Joe Mauer. I remember all those. They would shift them and they would hit the ball right up the middle, and there's a guy right there.
I'm with him.
And then it's like, hey, those are the way those guys played. Big Papi got shifted all the time. The hitter has to make an adjustment. You see guys even trying to bunting a couple of times to get on base. If you get shifted, guess what? You have to adjust.
You think they could shift Wade Boggs or Pete Rose?
No way.
Or Tony Wynn?
Ichiro?
But
so that's my,
no, that's the way we broke the rule.
So they're not taking away anything. They're adjusting to you. You have to adjust to them. It's a game of adjustments. I think this is ridiculous, and I hope it fails in the minors.
No. So I'm going to say this real quick. If I'm one thing when I judge players,
and who the heck? I can say heck. And who the heck are they shifting in the minors? You've had 50 at bats as a professional.
Pedro Luis from Dominican Republic. When he was playing,
believe me, I saw that.
We saw that with Houston.
Houston, and I go, what the heck? It's like a 2-at-bat
baseball. It's like, how many at bats did you call?
The Jada, I saw him hit off a mango tree, and that's where he goes.
Hey, by the way, when I was managing in Venezuela,
we have Sammy Garcia saying the game should be played like always with instincts and heart. Thank you. You are right, Sammy. I'll show you how to play an instrument one of these days.
We play in Venezuela, and the general manager, I don't want to say the name, he come up with the stupid thing, the way we're going to play.
The shifts?
Yeah. And I have a friend of mine, he say, I want to help you guys with the shift. I said, guys, in Venezuela, take 20 at bat, 2 at bat, 3 at bat. How you going to do that? That's a way to steal money.
By the way, they made it a business. So this is the part I think it's funny, okay? So if you're like Luis Robert or Nick Madrigal, okay, and you are getting help and you have the paper, okay? No, they're rookies, okay? But if you're Jose Ramirez, and he doesn't do this, or Tim Anderson, and you're doing it against your division, I will judge you as a manager if you're like this. No, I'm saying if you're reading the notes and you're
hey, one second.
Tony La Russa this year, hold on.
He needs help.
But if you're Rocco Baladelli, okay, and you're playing Detroit for the 15th time in the season,
shame on you.
You're Ryan Grandhire, 28 years in the American League Central. You think he needed to see how they were going to play as a Sox?
Let me something very, very. Kenny Williams, one day come to me and the scout report. I just like in my desk. And he said, hey, we send you a scout report. I know. I said, Kenny, put it this way. If you is my boss, you see me reading a scout report against Minnesota Twins when I'm facing 200,000 times, that means you got the wrong guy running your team. I said, why? Because everything is up here. Everything I know is up here. Why? Because I see that, okay, now Pedro Martinez Jr. come to hit. I don't know him. Then I read the scout report.
That's usually, that does happen with teams within your division.
Yeah.
But this year, if you are going to go play Anaheim, the Sox haven't seen Anaheim in a year and a half.
That's when the meeting.
You have to who the heck is this guy?
I'm saying, though, that's when the meeting becomes.
That's why you say.
Hey,
first hitter so and so, second hitter so and so, fourth hitter. I go, hey, wait a minute. How about the third hitter? We down 1-0.
Right. Okay. So that means that that's one of the rules that they're trying to change is the shifts. The other one is they're trying to make the bases wider.
So there's no
guys. There's less contact and guys can reach it faster because I guess they want to make the game more offensive. So they're saying if they do this, they create more stolen bases.
First of all, to steal bases, first of all,
you gotta have speed.
You cannot steal first. You gotta be on base.
Well, here's the other thing though. The evolution of the game, people. Oh, in 1955, this Luis Aparicio stole 80. Yeah, he never had a slide step.
That's true. He doesn't.
Okay.
He didn't have a
Here we go.
step.
Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench one day did this. Everyone was catching like this, and Johnny Bench said,
which was smart. This.
How about this hand behind my hand? Oh my God! So the game and the evolution of the game.
Now they have it up front.
Now they have it up front. Now guys are like, they have analytics to say this guy jumps here.
I tell my
so it's harder to steal.
If you're gonna be safe, steal.
Here's the other part though. How soft are you, Major League Baseball players? And I'm not saying that you are. Your league is telling you this, that you're gonna be the generation that plays with the big bases.
It sounds like you're playing with guy. I mean, obviously the players probably think the same as we do. This is honestly
embarrassing.
The players, the guys in the minors that they have to deal with this. This is embarrassing.
Okay, you know what?
Nobody wants to do this.
Okay,
they're implementing.
I see the guy was GM in Chicago, president T.O.S. team. It was in the middle. I see Mike Hill. It was in the middle.
Yeah, they want to keep their jobs.
No, I know, but okay. I want to know if they have a real baseball player went through all their life to do that. And I want to sit down and listen to all those. I love to sit down.
They're full of They're
no,
full of crap.
They want to keep the
No,
job.
here's the thing. Ozzie Guillén in that meeting,
I'm like,
would say this is the dumbest rule ever. What are you guys talking about?
That's why they didn't.
But I would love to.
But that's why you don't have that position.
I would love to hear before we jump into the next topic. I would love to hear their reasoning on each one.
They have a reason
because the having a step off to throw to first. I mean, okay, so basically we want to give the pitcher no chance to throw any. To
by the way, what happened when you have AJ catching? It's like,
no, not only that. You're like, if you have somebody that's not a great catcher or whatever, you're like, oh, okay, just steal second. Anytime anyone just steal second.
They changed
you can't, and then they're saying the third time you throw over. If you throw over the third time, he's going to be able to go to second unless you pick him off.
But
so you can't.
But by the way, they want to make the game faster.
That means the third time you leave.
So if I'm a runner, I go, okay, he's going to throw over. He's going to throw over here. The third time, he's not coming over.
No, I just go on.
So it's like for guys that run, they're saying, hey, do it. If you're anyone in decent speed.
Now they change the game. Now they want people to run. Last 10 years, home runs, power. Now they run. They want people to run, move the guy over. You know why? No more juice.
And the ball's not juice yet.
The ball's not juice
Nobody's
anymore.
hitting 50 home runs.
By the way, they made the ballpark smaller. They bring the juice. The ball was juice. I said that for the last 2 years.
Because they think that the offense.
Chicks think the long ball.
Right. And offense is what's going to get more fans to watch the game.
By the way, Major League Baseball. You know why people are not watching games? Because now you don't compete just against Major League Baseball. You're competing against Netflix, competing against my phone, competing against entrepreneurs, competing against people like us.
Competing against watching Jose Canseco get his ass kicked.
Compete against people like Jose Canseco.
There's a lot of
competition. So everyone who's a genius out there in Major League Baseball, that's what it is. So again,
I have one thing. You know, one thing that'll make you to watch. If your team wins,
team wins, they will watch.
So
here's the thing, though. I heard that the next rule is if you are in the last place, Texas, Tampa, you're going to start the game with 4 runs.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what they should do? You know what they should do?
I agree with the other one. I believe
wait a minute. You know what they should do? They should do. You finish last place.
You go to AAA.
You go to AAA.
Relegation.
AAA. Go to. You know what? And then you make.
Wait.
Now when you lose, do a last place. Wow, you have a reward. First round.
By the way, the Pirates.
Who's had a good? I saw that the Pirates, they've had like a 500 spring training.
We could touch upon spring training, but the next topic, obviously, here before we wrap up, is one that I want to touch because I hate talking about him because most of the time that I'm talking about him is either because he got paid a lot of money or because he did something ridiculous, unless winning the Cy Young in every season. Again, I think he's a great pitcher, but Trevor Bauer.
Great pitcher or good pitcher?
Good pitcher.
Okay.
Good pitcher. Trevor Bauer, now has this thing now that if anyone else did it in a different day, I think that they would have charged him out. At least I would have. He's throwing with one eye closed.
God bless him.
And his thing is saying, if I can get you out with one eye closed, think what I can do with 2 eyes. Okay. And then yesterday, he drilled somebody in the back. Okay.
And he throws hard.
So what's your opinion if you're on the dugout? I know what mine is. I'm top stepping him. He's not Kyle Farnsworth. I think I can take Trevor on a fight if I'm a player.
I believe that
he's like this.
I can see the Dodgers. I can see the Dodgers getting into fights this year because of this kid. These kind of things, he's a good talent. I don't see the reason why he has to do this other than just wanting attention for himself.
I want attention.
If I'm Mookie Betts, I tell him, hey.
Who he play against that day?
I think it's Tampa.
No, okay. Tampa. Wait a minute. If I was managing, I'm sorry.
You're yelling. I'm yelling.
I know. If I'm managing, I will, and I won't be back to managing. Yes, I do. But if that happens, I guarantee the best hitter
is going to get drilled.
The Dodgers have, he's going down.
So my point is this. He has to hit during the season. We know that. There's no university. So I give him credit that he has balls. He has big guts. But my point is, if I'm his teammate, I say, dude.
I wouldn't hit him. I hit one of his teammates.
No, I'll say that's my point. I go, we've been winning here for a long time without you. We have no distractions. We had him with Puig. He's gone. We keep winning here. Bellinger, Roberts, Kovac, Ginger. We win here. You just got here. David Price.
We don't need that.
We don't need that. We don't need this. We're here about winning games. You already got paid $40 million. We don't need you being a topic on shows like this because that's all you're doing. And that, when the Padres series comes, and I guarantee you, someone's going to take him deep. Someone's going to do the eye thing. They're going to start. And I guarantee you, these are the Dodgers will get into 2 fights. Because
I'm not going to say the Dodgers. I'm not going to say Padres because that's too easy. If I was, I'm going to tell a story real quick. So Delming Young, dear friend of mine, in the minor leagues threw a bat that hit an umpire in the chest. Okay. Another friend of mine, named Freddie Garcia, in the minors. Another friend of mine, Freddie Garcia, was a pitcher the day that Delman Young made the debut. And Delman and Freddie know each other because of Dimitri Young, another good friend of ours. Freddie Garcia drilled Delman Young on purpose. Okay, his first at bat, because he wanted to let him know that what he did in the minor leagues that they didn't forget, and that was not going to be accepted. Again, I can be a Neanderthal at 36 years old. People think I'm nuts. Delman Young, as a baseball person, knew that was coming.
He did nothing.
Did nothing. Took first base. Actually, took Freddie deep the next at bat. His third at bat. It took him deep. But so I would not be surprised right now if I was on another team. Okay, Pirates. I look for the low.
When he faces the Reds.
The Reds. If I'm the Reds, okay, if I'm a player and I take him deep, I'm gonna make a mockery out of you. Okay, my goal now as a player, because all this Twitter, I am going to go after you so hard. And this is a part that like you're not doing things like a sign, like you're literally closing your eye and then it's not even.
And fun. I don't want people to misconfuse
and he go like this.
Yeah, I don't want people to get this confused. This has nothing to do with. I hate it when people get this confused. It's personality. The game needs personality. That is not personality. That is not personality. That is showing somebody else up. Pimping has been around for a long, long time. Pascual Perez pitched in the 80s. People have been showboating always. This is just idiotic. Like, I don't see the point.
As somebody in baseball, though, I would have a big issue with this. All the guys that I've talked to around the game, if you're out there doing podcasts and you think this is awesome, you're an idiot. Ozzie Jr. said it.
Yeah, we have someone saying close one eye while you're around the bases when you take him deep. Because you know there's going to be
by the way, I would go like this. I would literally get at first. And again, that's when they get soft. And again, I'm not a great fighter. I am better than Jose Canseco. But there's a couple guys. Uguet Urbina, Kyle Farnsworth. I got a list of about 6 guys that I would not fight in any whatsoever baseball brawl. Guess who's not on that list? Guess who's not on that list? Trevor Bauer.
So that is our point, is that all we're saying is that we don't see the game. We don't see the point of doing this.
I would have David Roberts, the part when he does something like this. I'm just saying though. Oni made a great point.
Dave Roberts will say it.
They have a chemistry there that they don't need.
This isn't Pittsburgh. This is not Cincinnati.
This is not Cincinnati.
Where you threw the ball. By the way, I bet you he doesn't throw the ball in the outfield.
By the way, but this is the guy who threw the ball into center field, and Terry Francona said, "Go home." And again,
you're an idiot.
By the way, this is not Max Scherzer, guys. This is a guy that was a Cy Young in a 20-game season.
Oh, God.
So again, he could do horrible. Again, I think the Dodgers are doing so well that they don't need this extra.
And that's why I think this is going to be interesting to see. The Los Angeles Dodgers, how are they going to do with him? Does he go out and he gets beat up? How is he going to react? They're throwing him into the middle.
People have no idea. And I know that this is a new age of baseball where one thing's like kumbaya.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying though, if a pitcher comes in, and I'm not saying manager, and they drill Kayla. Now he's with Keenan Kayla, guys that like
Reds, I think.
Whatever. And one of those guys, they love hitting people. They just are wild. And they hit Mookie Betts the day that Bauer pitches, and Mookie Betts is in a bad mood, and he's like, I got drilled because of you. I saw a fight, Minnesota, teammates fighting Delman Young because somebody got drilled. And in the world of baseball, I'm sorry if you don't get it. Keep watching the NFL. Keep watching another sport. It's in the world of baseball, people understand one another.
And I don't understand the fans that don't understand. They're like, oh, why do they got to throw? Listen, the game polices itself. People that are there, they know what's right.
I got 11-year-olds in Little League baseball saying, Coach, why did that kid do that? So that upset me. People
in the game know, people on TV know when things are done right and when things aren't done wrong. If you do something, we saw fights last year, aka my buddy Cintron, Oakland.
Yeah.
Things will happen. It doesn't matter if there's no fans, if there's 1,000 fans, 1,000,000 fans. If the other team doesn't like what you're doing, they will let you know. This summer, I expect something to happen with
there's going to be some tussles. And the part that gets me upset is that we're not hating against Trevor. We're commenting. I'm just saying that we're commenting on baseball and baseball knowledge. I blame, and I say the media because I get a paycheck from this, and I'm always on Twitter writing. We've signed up for so much foolery as writers, and as I'm not saying me writers, I'm saying the writers and the people in the media have made this such a clown show that no one has the tenacity to write an article because they say, oh, we're going to be considered a hater. We're going to get canceled. Like no one's out. Like the fact that no one has written an article and saying, what? Well, this is the dumbest thing ever. And this goes to the conversation of the bat flipping of people think that like me, I love bat flipping. You know what my favorite walk-off is? Paul Konerko in the World Series. Even though it wasn't that great of a walk-off. Why? Because it was in the World Series. That's why I never flip the bat. I'm saying that doesn't matter. You can flip. When you win, when it's a one to win,
go run naked.
Go do whatever you want. Like when you're celebrating a huge victory, I just don't like foolery and dumb stuff.
And let me say this, another thing before we go to the next topic. Everyone that's played baseball, you know exactly what you're doing.
Hey, you guys,
for sure.
Hey, you guys remember Jose Lima?
You know exactly what you're doing.
Jose Lima is just do so many things, but when he got his butt,
but that was his
so now
personality.
all Trevor's doing is just putting a bigger target on his back. Not only do people hate him because he's
and then
very
he got
vocal,
paid, and then he got paid.
Yeah. And now he's doing this.
So we're gonna see. So
we'll see what happens.
So before we wrap this up, one quick question here this beautiful Friday, almost close to opening day. Are there teams that win spring training?
I think honestly, I really do think that there are teams. I think spring training is for teams that haven't had a long time together. The Dodgers, they don't need spring training. The Yankees, they don't need spring training. When I say they don't need spring training, those guys are just going to get at bats. They know what they have. I think spring training is more for teams like the Marlins. They got new guys coming in. Baltimore, the Pittsburghs. Like, hey, what do we have? Who's good?
How do you make a double play?
How do you make it right? Like Mookie Betts, all those guys, they don't need, they don't need that. For a guy like Alex Cora to get reincorporated with his team, new signings. But for most part, spring training is just forget.
Like for the White Sox, I think the LeCroy,
I think for a team like the Sox and a team for like the Cubs, I don't really think the Cubs is even a big deal.
No, because
they're the same team.
Yeah.
For a team like the
Sox, I worry about it. I'm managing and coach. I play. When I was playing, I didn't care. You win. I got my bat. I go home. But when you're managing and your expectation is to win, all of a sudden you only win 2, and all of a sudden because you cannot turn the lights on and off.
Let me also say this: no one in spring training is trying to fail.
No, correct.
They're like, oh, don't worry. But when I come to April, I'm going to turn it on.
So the execution,
hitting is rhythm.
No, I'm saying the execution of how you play the game.
Hold a minute.
Yes, and how you go into the season. It's like, hey, if you coming out and I'm like, my God, I've got one hit, 30 at bats. The next day, you're like, I don't feel comfortable.
Yes.
I don't feel comfortable.
Yes. Okay. By the way, when I was managing the White Sox, the big boys pitching big games because they want to get it done. Throw the 50, 25. Oh, we got to make a trip. And Garland got to pitch. No, Garland stay back because I said, no.
We got to put him in the game
that
situation.
Guy go with us and we go to see him pitch because Don Cooper, want to make that trip. You want to stay. Back. I say, no. The first year, the second year said, no, wait a minute. Who's pitching? No matter what pitching is,
you're pitching.
Were you pitching?
Yeah, the big.
I don't care. Now it's like big game. No. We play in the moon. You go with the moon with the ball.
You have to understand this because
you have to.
There's nothing that you could do during spring training, even if it's the last day and it's the best lineups that teams can have. You can't do anything to replicate opening day. Opening day, adrenaline is rushing. You can't do anything to simulate that. So anyone that tells you, no, I'll be fine in spring training, that's a lie.
Nope.
When you're playing and you don't feel comfortable, when you're hitting, my God, I don't feel comfortable.
I'm saying
it's the same thing when you're golfing. Like, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, health-wise,
it's rhythm.
I'm saying health-wise, I like to see guys get good at bats.
Healthy at bats,
running the bats as well.
Run well.
You don't want nobody get hurt.
Nobody get hurt. Am I making? It's not about outs because you don't want to hit thousands. It's like, am I making?
Pitcher, no, I'm saying for a pitcher. Okay?
Am I making good
contact?
If
a pitcher's walking 3 guys,
that's not good.
That's not a good sign.
Or guys are saying, I'm working on a pitch.
That's why Major League Baseball, I don't know by spring training, it's overtaken by COVID. A good excuse. Oh, bases loaded. Bam. Switch.
They're doing a lot of.
No, they used to. Now
everyone's doing it.
I say, wait a minute.
I want to see how they get out of the bases loaded.
Right. No, okay, this guy cannot throw more than 10 pitches. Okay, first of all, manager should know, and pitching coach should know how many pitches this guy got to get. Okay, he throws 17 pitches. Don't switch. Bring another guy from the bullpen.
I'm going to make a bet on FanDuel that no pitcher goes 7 innings opening day.
Oh, no, they know. It's funny.
Guys will go 5.
It's funny.
Nope.
No, it's funny, but you know why? Because that's the way it's had been. But talk about the White Sox, thing I follow because I have to work.
Of course.
I don't see Cease throwing the ball one time in the A game. He's pitching big game, and the problem Cease have is mentally, no physically.
Well, and now, by the way, last year there was no fans.
Okay,
this year you're gonna hear at least 13,000 fans.
You know who played? You know who played in B games? Oni.
Yeah,
so you have to face Oni or face.
And by the way, there's nobody back there in the backfield, and there's no pressure.
But about this, I used to be like, I say, what's up? How this guy throwing the backfield? They call him backfield. Well, they scored 17 wrong against him, but he got his job done.
And by the way, you know who's the worst to face? Minor leaguers.
By the way,
they don't take pitches.
I remember Freddie
Garcia used to hate facing minor leaguers because minor leaguers go up there hacking. You face a college team or minor league, they don't big league hitters take pitches. Minor league hitters, wherever you throw, they're swinging.
You want to laugh when Jim told me come to my office or go to the hitting coach most of the time. Say I need get some at bat to be ready.
He would lead off every
game. 12 at bats at the game, and I told Greg Walker,
which is pretty great.
I said, Greg, you know what? We lose Jim Tomey for not 3 days. What I mean, you watch. Next day, Jim Tomey come up. Hermes Snyder come to my office and said, Jim, you need a couple more days off because he's had so many at bat in the minor league. Yeah. That happened. You're not ready.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Like you have to train even if you've been working out before we jump into the last topic, even if you've been working out all off season. Once the game starts, it's not the same.
First practice start.
You're like, I feel good running. As soon as I hit a ball in the gap and you try to go at another gear.
It's not. No matter you throw bullpen, you throw hit, you life, you hit against machine. First day of spring training
is way different.
Well, next day you're sore.
It's the reality of baseball, but thank you again. We got to wrap this one up here on La Vida Baseball. Do your little hearts. Keep following us. Subscribe. Let's keep counting the days to opening day. Is your team going to make it or they're not going to make it? Follow us on social media at La Vida Baseball. Being Guillén, subscribe to the podcast for previous episodes and up the latest when you're driving down memory lane. So I will see you next week.
This man is good at it.